So this is 2.1 part 2. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is multiplying a monomial with a polynomial. So here, there's the monomial in front. And here we have in this case, a binomial. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the A and you're going to multiply it to the B. You're going to take the A and you're going to multiply it to the C. So we've seen something like this before. So I like to draw little arrows when I do this. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to multiply it here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to multiply it here. So when I do this, I multiply my 2 times my 4 together. And then I have x to the 3 plus 2. And then I'm going to have my 2 multiplying my 6. So that's going to be 12. And then I have just x to the 3 because there's no other x to add that base to. 2 times 4 is going to give me 8. And then x to the 3 plus 2 will be x to the 5 plus 12 x to the 3. So now I see if I have any similar terms. So I don't. This is x to the 5. This is x to the 3. So I can't combine these at all. Okay, so I have no like terms. The next thing I do is I check to make sure that these are in descending order of powers. So here, my power is x to the 5. Here, my power is x to the 3. So these are in descending order of powers. The 5 meaning that the bigger power is first. So this one's done. Next one. I'm going to multiply. This is a trinomial here, here, oops, and here. So I have minus 3 times 2, x to the 2 plus 4, oops, plus 4. And there's no y, so I'll just write y to the 2. And then I have minus 3 times minus 3, x to the 2 plus 5y. And then I have minus 3 times 5, x to the 2. All right, so let's simplify that. So we have minus 3 times 2 is going to be minus 6. X to the 2 plus 4 is x to the 6, y squared. Now we have negative 3 times negative 3, so that's going to end up being positive 9. 2 plus 5 is 7, and then just y. And then, whoops, go away. Then we have negative 3 times 5, that's going to be negative 15, x to the 2. So then we need to check to make sure that these are in descending order of power. Now when you have more than one base with a power, what you need to do is you need to add up all the exponents in the term. So here we have x to the 6 and y to the 2. So 6 plus 2 is going to be 8. So for here, the power is 8. The next one, we have x to the 7 and we have y to the 1. So again, this is 8. So these have the same power. So in this case, I can leave them as they are because they're the same power. Doesn't matter which one we write first. And then the power of this one is x to the 2. Let's just say that this was y to the 3. Let's say that this was y to the 2. So this would be 7, 8, 9, and this would be 8. So then if that was the case, if this one had the higher power, you would rewrite this with this one in the first position. So you would switch these two. You would write 9x to the 7, y to the 2, minus 6x to the 6, and you keep going in descending order of power. Okay, so if this had the higher power, then you would put it first. Okay, but in this case it doesn't, There's no completely identical like terms we can combine. So that's our final answer for that question. In C, here we have two monomials first and then a binomial. So in this case, you need to multiply these together first to get a new monomial here, and only then can you multiply it with the rest. So we're going to do 4 times minus 2. It's going to be minus 8. Then we have x to the 4y. Okay, so we need to do that first. And then we're going to multiply it to x, y minus 4. You can't do this all in one step. You have to do step 1 and then multiply that to the next one. If you have 3, let's say you have another bracket afterwards. I don't know. X plus 3y plus 2. Okay. In that case, first you resolve the first two brackets. Then you resolve the first bracket and the second bracket and get an answer. And then you take that answer and multiply it to the third bracket. Okay, so you can only do 2 sets of brackets at a time. All right, so getting back to this. So we have minus 8. Now here we have x to the 4 and x to the 1. So that's going to give us x to the 5. And we have y to the 1, y to the 1. So that's going to give us y to the 2. And then we have minus 8 times minus 4. It's going to give us positive 32. And there's nothing to multiply my letters by, so I just rewrite them, x to the 4y. Now I need to double check. First of all, there's no like terms, so there's no completely identical exponents on my letters. Nope. Then this one is x to the 5 plus 2, so that's 7. So the power of this term is 7. Here we have 4 and 1. The power of this term is 5. So this has a higher power for this term, so it's written first. This one's written second, so we don't need to move anything. If this one had the higher power, we would flip them. But in this case, you don't have to. In your homework, there are questions where you do have to reorder them. All right, so that's it for this section. You can now do page 69, number 8. And that's the end of 2.1.